Hi everybody, we're on packet 2, day 7, or week 2, number 2, day 2, and we're on the second math page, all about pictographs. Just as a review, pictographs use pictures to compare information, whereas bar graphs use bars to compare information. The pictograph below shows the types of frozen treats eaten at Armstrong Elementary. The food bank volunteers bar graph shows the number of volunteers at 2 different schools. So here we have a pictograph and a bar graph. And I'm going to remind you the difference between pictographs in first grade, second grade, and third grade is that in first and second grade, most of the time your pictographs count by ones, whereas in third grade, you always need to check down here. You always need to check to find out what we're counting by. And down here it says that 1 whole popsicle is the same as 12 frozen fruit treats. And then this broken or half popsicle would be the same as 6 frozen fruit treats. Okay, so we're not counting by ones, we're counting by 12s, keeping in mind that this and this is a 6. And over here, they've got 2 different colors going on. They've got a dark gray to show Carter Elementary, and they have a light gray to show Madison Elementary. All right. The first thing we notice about pictographs is they have a title, Favorite Frozen Fruit Treats at Armstrong Elementary. Over here, we have the type of frozen treat, grape, orange, cranberry, cherry, strawberry, kiwi, and apple. And across the bottom it says number of frozen treats eaten. And then we've got pictures. And we're going to answer some questions about this pictograph, starting with number 1. Which flavor was the most popular? And since we're working on the word most, you are looking for the one with the most. In that case, it was, yep, strawberry. Strawberry has the most pictographs in it, has the most pictures, so there were more strawberry popsicles eaten. Question 2, which 2 flavors were half as popular as the most popular flavor? There's a lot in that information, a lot of information in that sentence. So we're looking for 2 flavors, and the 2 flavors had to be half as popular as the most popular flavor. Okay, well, we already know the most popular flavor was strawberry. So let's go back up. And if we're counting by 12s, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 12s going on. I don't want to add 5 12s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply. Whoops. 12 times 5. Just to find out how many strawberries were actually eaten. Now, if you don't know 12 times 5, you could count by 5s all the way up to 10, and then just count 2 more 5s. So it'd be like saying 10 times 5, which we know is 50. And then 2 more 5s. Yikes. That is just ugly. That's what we get when we write with our fingers, which would be 10 more. And when we add them together, that would make a total of 60 strawberry popsicles or frozen fruit treats were eaten. So we have strawberry is 60. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that right here. I'm going to write strawberry is 60. I am, though, looking for the 2 flavors that were half as popular. If I take 60 and I cut it in half, what do I get? Well, cutting something in half is like dividing. So that would be like saying 60 divided by 2. What would that equal? Well, ignore the 0. Divide. And tell me what you get. 6 divided by 2. How many 2's make 6? 3. So if 3 2s make 6, then how many 2s make 60? 30 of them. So we are looking for the 2 flavors that were half as popular as the most popular flavor. Half as popular is 30. I'm looking for the 2 flavors that were at 30. Well, I know it's not apple because one frozen fruit pop is 12. And I know it's not kiwi because if I have 12 plus 12 plus 12, I get 36. That's too much. So I'm looking for something in between. Something in between that 1, which is 12, and the 3, because 12 is too little and 3 is too much. Well, the 2 flavors that have more than 1 frozen pop but less than 3 whole ones are right here, grape and orange. We know that 1 is 12. Another one makes another 12. 12 and 12 is 24. And then we have a 6. So let's add that up and see. Do we really get 30? 12 plus 12 plus 6. And if we add those together, I get 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 6 more. That's 10. 0 down. 1 up. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 30. Hey, yeah. Orange and grape are both at 30. And 30 is half of 60. So the 2 flavors that were half as popular as the most popular flavor, strawberry, were grape and orange. So we're going to write that. Grape and orange. Number 3, which flavor was the least popular? Remember that least popular means the less. Least is less. So I'm looking for the one that has the least amount of popsicle pictures, and that would be our apple. So apple was the least popular. I'm going to go ahead and write that. And then it says, which flavor was the second most popular? Well, I know strawberry was the most popular. What I'm looking for is the second most popular, which means I want the one that's right under strawberry. So let's go. Strawberry is here, and that was the most popular. So which one is right under it? Cherry. Because cherry is really close, and it's more than all the others, but not quite as much as strawberry. So the second most popular was cherry. Okay, now on to the bar graph. The bar graph asks, which school had more volunteers in December? So I'm going to go over to December, just looking at December, and I'm going to look at my 2 bars. My dark gray bar is Carter Elementary, and my light gray bar is Madison. And I'm going to look at which bar is bigger. And in this case, it's the light gray bar. The light gray bar is bigger, which means Madison Elementary had more volunteers in December. So I'm going to write that down. Madison Elementary. Okay, Madison Elementary had more volunteers for the month of December. Now let's look at number 6. What was the total number of volunteers at that school for December? They're referring to this school right here. They're kind of continuing the question from 5. What was the total number of volunteers at that school, Madison, for December? So we said Madison was the most. Now they're just saying, okay, well, if they were the most, how many did they get? So we're just going to follow that line all the way up, and where it ends is at 14. So there were 14 volunteers at Madison School for the month of December. Question 7 says, how many more volunteers helped from Carter Elementary than from Madison Elementary in January? The first thing that draws my attention is the part that says, how many more? I know that those are subtraction words. The second part that I'm going to be looking at is the month of January. So I'm only looking at January now. I'm going to go up to January, and I'm going to notice that the dark gray bar for Carter stops at the 10, and the light gray bar for Madison stops at the 4. Okay, so now I just need to take those two numbers and I need to subtract them, because when you say how many more, you're comparing. You're trying to find the difference, and the difference is what you find when you subtract. So there were 10 volunteers minus 4 volunteers, and you're just going to do 10 minus 4. Why? Because in the month of January, we had Carter Elementary School had 12 volunteers, and Madison had 4 volunteers, and we need to know how many more Carter had than Madison. So you do that by subtracting. I'm going to let you go ahead and solve that math. Question 8. Which school had more volunteers in October? So I'm looking for the school that had more volunteers just in the month of October. So let's go look at the map again, or the bar graph. Look at October, and I've got my dark gray line and my light gray line, and I notice that the one that is more is the light gray line, which means that it is Madison Elementary. So yet again, Madison had more. Which school had more volunteers in October? We're going to go ahead and write that as Madison Elementary. They had more. So they had more in December, and they had more in October. Right there. Hopefully that answered your questions. If you have any more, make sure you post them in Google Classroom. Talk to you later.